Trade, 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 trade. I like trades. Mariners make a trade. Luis Urias is headed to the Seattle Mariners. Isaiah Campbell is heading to the Boston Red Sox. This all according to Ryan Divish, who, look, we just got to trust him. We just got to trust him. This time only, but for now, we're going to trust him. Before we get into the trade, before we get into Isaiah Campbell, this will be his performance review because I'm not recording 2 videos about Isaiah Campbell. Let's thank the good people of Simply Seattle for sponsoring the show and providing the best in Seattle sports stuff. Great stuff for the Mariners, Seahawks, Kraken, Sounders, Storm, Sounders. I think I said again, go Sounders, Huskies, Cougars, Mariners. If I didn't say them, they've got a lot of great stuff. And once you find all the great stuff that you want to buy on the website, use code MOLLYWOP15 to save 15% off your order. That's MOLLYWHOP15, all one word. Just type it out in the code when you check out. You guys have done this a billion times, but it will save you 15% on your order, and we really appreciate the support from you, and we really appreciate the support from Simply Seattle. Okay, Luis Urias. So Luis Urias has always had kind of a special place in my heart because he's somebody, I don't want to brag about this because honestly, he hasn't quite actually lived up to the hype yet, but he was somebody who was on fairly early before prospect lists as someone I really liked. And then he became about a top 25 or so prospect, according to a lot of people. Has not lived up to those hypes. Don't get me wrong. But what's also interesting about Urias is the prospect version I saw was a guy who was 80 grade hit, like 40 power at best. Completely opposite now. Now, he doesn't have 80 grade power, but he is a power above hit for sure. And on base percentage above hit also. Like, he gets on base. That's his calling card, is getting on base, hitting for power. And we'll talk all about it. Let's just go over his season real quick. And I want to talk about actually the last 3 seasons because last year's a lost year. Last year, he played in all of 52 games, and he hit 194, yuck, 337 on base percentage, 299 slugging percentage, yuck, 3 homers, 18 RBI, if you're into that sort of thing. But it was only 52 games. He gets traded to Boston in the middle of the year, and his time with them, he only hits 225, but he does get on at a 361 clip. That'll work. 337 slugging percentage, icky for somebody who doesn't steal bases. But he got on base at a pretty good clip. In 2021 and 2022, Luis Urias was a pretty darn solid player. 789 OPS with 23 homers in 2021, his breakout season. OPS of 112, worth 3 wins. 2022, 3.1 wins, 239, 335, 404 with 16 homers. He's been effective at times. And what he's really been effective at doing is hitting left-handed pitching. In his time with in the major leagues against left-handers, he's got an OPS, I believe, of 796. And why I say I believe is because I exited out of the page that I wanted to have open. Let's pause that and open that page. I should have trusted myself. 276, 353, 442, 796, pretty close to 795, but they round up for that OPS against left-handers. That's very good. I mean, it's not elite, but it's pretty solid. We'll definitely take it because that's, I think, what Luis Urias' role is going to be looking like for the Seattle Mariners, is a guy who plays against lefties. Defensively, I think it's interesting that my personal opinion is his best defensive position is third base. It does make me wonder if they maybe are planning a little platoon there, with Eugenio Suarez being on the trade block. And I have heard lots of talk about Eugenio Suarez being on the trade block. Interesting. Very interesting. So, look, is this a great player that the Seattle Mariners are getting? No. Is it somebody who I think can help? Yeah. Yeah. People are going to say it's Colton Wong all over again. It's this all over again, yada, yada, yada. And that's fine. Like, it's lazy, but it's fine. But Urias is only 26 and has shown the ability to be a good baseball player. And the reason why I think I really like this trade, honestly, is because of what they're giving up with Isaiah Campbell. So let's just get into the review of Campbell. I thought Campbell did a very nice job for a guy who was kind of off the radar for 2023. But did anyone ever really feel super confident when Isaiah Campbell was in the game? No. No, they did not. And that's, maybe that's on us. But you just never got the feeling this was a high leverage reliever. There were some good moments. I think for his rookie season, he was effective. I get why Boston is making this deal. I don't think the Seattle Mariners are really going to miss Isaiah Campbell. I think Urias can be a more effective option for them in 2024 than Isaiah Campbell can be for them. I don't mind this deal at all. Now, would I mind this deal if we're talking about counting on Luis Urias to be an every single day player for the Seattle Mariners in the year of our Lord 2024? Yeah. But if we're talking about him being a utility guy, a guy who plays against lefties, if they're going to be an organization that does a bunch of platooning, and goodness knows they are, Luis Urias has a history of being a pretty darn good one. He just can't be relied on to be an everyday guy. Nope. There has been way too much failure for him to be relying on him as being that every single day player. He's also not a very good defensive player at second base. He can play there, but that's not his strength. Third base, he doesn't have like the elite arm or anything like that, but he's quick enough and he has good enough feet that he can be a solid option there. So I am okay with this trade. I just hope that this is not, we have acquired our starting second baseman, we have acquired our starting third baseman. I hope it is, we have acquired a guy who has a history of mashing lefties, who can play third base, who can play second base in a pinch. Maybe that's your platoon at second base to open the year of Josh Rojas and him. I don't love that. I would prefer something else. We'll talk about Ryan Bliss at some point. I think Ryan Bliss is a better player than both of those guys. But for right now, I'm going to just assume that he's a guy who gets at bats against lefties. If it's anything more than that, we'll see. But yeah, interesting trade. I love trades. Trades are so fun. Go spend money in free agency. I'm sure people would love me to talk about the Shohei Ohtani report today, that apparently the Mariners are not interested. What do you want me to say? What do you want me to say? I hope it's wrong. I don't think it is. I think Daniel Kramer does a really nice job. I don't think Daniel Kramer would make this stuff up. If you want to be the person who says, well, this is just a smokescreen and all that stuff, God bless you. I'm trying not to talk down to you, but be you. Be optimistic. I'm optimistic about a lot of things in this world. I'm not optimistic about the Mariners signing Shohei Ohtani. Wish I was, but I am not. So yeah, what do you think of this deal? Do you think Urias can be a helper? Do you think that's the plan, to use him at left against left-handers, against third base, second base, maybe even some DH stuff? I don't know. I kind of like it. I don't love it. I certainly don't hate it. And good luck to Isaiah Campbell in Boston. May your mustache shine in Beantown. Please hit like, please hit subscribe, all that good stuff. We'll talk again soon.